Welcome everyone, thank you for joining me for another special health focused Tai Chi and Qigong class. Let us begin with a few seconds of Wuji. So we can do this standing or seated, whichever feels comfortable for you. But I'd like you to plant your feet to the floor, please. So whether you're standing or sitting down, the general posture is the same. We want shoulder width with the feet and make sure that they are level. At least symmetrical, if not parallel. And let's feel the top of the head floating up and the chin slightly down and back. Now you can gaze gently ahead, or if you prefer, as I do, I close my eyes, so you can do that. But notice which feels better for you. If you feel your balance going, keep your eyes open, that's fine. So we're going to take a moment, please, to just arrive here and now. Be aware of your breath. Feel the quality of your breath. And with each out breath, let go a little bit more. Notice the heart rate. Notice whatever sensations are presenting themselves here and now. And with each breath, let go. Let go a little bit more. Feel the tension release. Feel the experience that has just happened fall away. Let it go. So each moment is fresh in your awareness. Sounds in the room. Sounds outside. Breathe into here and now. That feeling of calm, of quiet that presents itself. Let that stay with you through your practice and through your day. As we bring the awareness gently back to the room, picture yourself in your space and slowly, if your eyes are closed, slowly open your eyes. Well done. Good. So let's gently ease ourselves into movement by wiggling fingers and wiggling toes. Then a little bit more, moving into your stance and having a little stretch out. I would like today to talk really briefly, try to, about some Tai Chi theory. So you might not see easily on my shirt here, the light kind of blanks it out, but this is actually a yin yang with yellow and white. Maybe not the best contrast in the world, but a yin yang. So when you see the yin yang, you may associate it with Tai Chi. We call it the Tai Chi picture. But in this model of the universe, in our way of understanding things through Tai Chi, there are actually three pictures. And what we just did, Wuji, is depicted by another picture. which is the empty circle. So it could be any color, it could be black, it could be white. In this case, it could be yellow, doesn't matter. An empty circle depicts universal oneness. So there's not opposing forces, there's no contrasting, there's nothing to balance because everything is already in a state of absolute balance. So it's a really nice practice to bring into your day. You don't have to go through lots of exercises to start to get the benefits of Tai Chi. Just being peaceful, quiet and still, letting go and breathing. We experience, after a while, a few moments, we start to experience Wu Ji. And in Wu Ji, there is no center. There's no lower dandian, middle dandian, upper dandian. There's none of that. There's just one. So actually every part of our being, when we do Wu Ji, is center. It's all the same. However, unless you just want to sit and meditate all day long and never move, we move on then to the yin yang picture, Tai Chi, which is actually the whole universe described in a picture. If you take slices through the yin yang, each slice will have a cross section of a certain amount of black or yellow and a certain amount of white. And each cross section is unique. It will have a different amount, and yet put together, it creates a harmonious whole. So it's not just two opposing forces depicted by Tai Chi, it's actually the entire universe of complexity finding its niche, finding its balance within itself. So that's what we use to depict Tai Chi. We're trying to create balance through a very complex system with a very simple intent of using opposing forces and motion to create that balance. But there is a third picture, and you very rarely come across this third picture for good reason. The third picture is the circle with a slice, a line straight down the middle, and it's black on one side and it's white on the other. There's no dots, there's no curve to it, it's just two half circles crammed together. And when you see that picture, that depicts duality. So there's no give and take, there's no blending, there's no transition, there's no movement in duality. It's just two opposing forces that butt up against each other and clash. There's no give and take. That symbol represents disaster, when there is just no chance, unless something changes, of things working out. When people are in that state, bad things happen. They go into crisis, they have meltdowns. If a country goes into that state, war. It's just the end of, it's two sides that just will not see eye to eye, will not give and take, will not compromise, will not try to work together. But actually, you might think that these three things are set in stone. They're not. We actually, all of us, tend to flow through these states on a daily basis. You might take a moment of crisis where you just can't stand it. Your partner is just doing your head in, the children are making you crawl up the walls, and you've just had enough. But then we tend to find something or someone else go flip, they need a break. Tell you what, do you want a cup of tea? Do you want to sit down? Here, let's go out for a bit. Let's take a breath. Let's go for a walk. You can glide out of duality state very simply with a little nudge in the right direction. So we can come away from disaster very easily with a little bit of give, with a little bit of melting of opinions, of standpoints. We can flow back into Tai Chi. And of course, we go from Wu Ji into Tai Chi every time we do class. We go from nothingness, stillness, and calm, and that naturally lends itself to flowing into balance. At some stage, you might have a unfortunate thought that puts you into a state of, I can't do this, it's too hard, it's not possible. We go into that state of duality where it's can and cannot, and you feel you're in the cannot. But we go into it for a moment, and then we take a breath and we realize that's not a way to think, and we glide back into a state of harmony. We give ourselves a break. We allow others to be human. We allow ourselves to be human. to make mistakes, to not quite get it right, and all of a sudden we go back into flow. So I'm telling you all this because it's all part of existence. It's all part of the overview of life. We can, with a little bit of effort, we can practice Wu Ji and experience bliss straight away. We're in balance just by listening, letting go, allowing everything to just be what it is, and we're consciousness observing it. Once we want to take part in life and actually interact, we go into Tai Chi, we go into the yin yang picture. We're part of the balance of the universe. We're moving, we're complex, but we're finding a way through. And sometimes we go into crisis and everything becomes stuck. Can't manage, can't do it, can't seem to make anything work. But it's a transition. We can dip into it. Remember, at any point, you can dip out of it again. You can avoid crisis or take the next slip road off and return to the flow very easily. So please, if you're going through a hard time, I know it can feel like the end of the world. It can feel like you're really just up against it and everything is against you. But if you let yourself soften, let yourself float, allow whatever is happening to be happening, because it's happening anyway, and you will find you can slip back into a state of harmony with what's going on. So people can be in real trauma and actually still stay perfectly harmonious, or you could have the perfect life, enough money, you know, everything you could possibly wish for, but a wrong thought could send you actually into that duality that leads to so much grief. So don't despair. It's a cycle. We flow through all of these states, and with a little bit of mindfulness and consciousness, being aware that we can shift our state with a single thought, you will be able to return and spend more and more time in Wu Ji and Tai Chi, in the yin yang harmonious flow. Oh, okay, so there's some Tai Chi theory for you. Let's get up. Let's do some movement. We don't often do theory, but I think it is useful to know. As I say, we hardly ever look at the duality picture because we think of it as something to be avoided. But if you're not aware of how to cope or that even something exists, how do you deal with it then when it hits you? To be forearmed is to be forewarned is to be forearmed. You are ready to cope when you know what may come and how to deal. Let's take right hand in fist, left hand straight together and press forwards. Lovely. Let's open our stance, relax down. We'll go into open door 5. Gentle, symmetrical, simple movement so you can feel, breathe, and go with the flow. Float up, please, the top of the head, the chin slightly down and back, and release, relax through your system. Again, we dip into Wu Ji, just letting go, just breathing, just existing here and now. Calm down. And listen behind. Very good. Let's gently press the fingers down. Feel for all 10 fingers. Be aware of them. Feel into them. And begin. Let's float level with the waistline and breathe, calming down. Good. Turn palms. Give your back a wee rub. Excellent. We're going to do that again, folks. I'm going to show you the quarter view, just so that you can get more of a 3D feel for what we're doing. I know you all know this, but just for clarity. Okay, and again, I want you to let your breath flow, let your movements flow, and feel into the movements. You'll notice each position as you flow through it has a different sensation, both mechanically, but also energetically. You'll feel some movements are gathering energy and some movements are expanding and sending out your energy. Listen for the details, listen for the subtlety that's happening within your body. Tai Chi is what we call an internal practice. So yes, the physical shape and posture is important, but it's actually facilitating the flow of energy within the body and influencing the structures within the body. That is the essence of Tai Chi. So listening and feeling, especially when you're doing simple exercises, makes a huge difference. It's mindfulness, awareness practice. Are we ready? Let's float up. And calming down. Listening behind. Ready? Fingers pressed down and scoop. Very good. Returning to center. Check posture, relaxing those shoulders, releasing elbows, feel into the hands. And again, give your back a wee rub. Good. And if you can, hold your hands to your waist a moment longer and feel the touch, feel the warmth of the palms flowing into your back. Ah, it should be very comforting. I find it a very comforting feeling, that warmth. And you can bring that warmth to any part of your body. Release, relax down. If you have a sore knee, if you've had surgery, often an area could feel cold. If the fascia has got a bit knitted, maybe the energy's not flowing so easily. So even just bringing your hands to an area, rub them first and bring them to the point where there's stagnation or if there's coldness, and just feeling into the warmth for a while is very comforting. What you could then do is just very gently do small and gentle manipulations, stretching, gently twisting and turning, keeping the whole palm flat so you're bringing warmth, but you're also helping the fascia to release. Fascia is an incredible, weird and wonderful thing. It is kind of like Velcro. Sometimes it adheres to itself and you think, oh, it's stuck and yet a little movement can release it. And fascia, the soft tissues, the web-like, cobweb-like structures that seem to wrap and permeate so many of our soft tissue structures, they can release easier through relaxation than forcing. So if you think of getting putty, if you push into it, it'll resist, it'll push back. Whereas if you think of sinking gently into it, it just melts out from under your thumb. And fascia is like that as well. So soft and gentle movements, as we do in Tai Chi, can often really help. So we can do our movements softly, gently, and we can also hold a body part, feel the warmth, breathe into it, and then very gently and softly, even using the word in your mind, melt. Think of melting and releasing the soft tissue, and it will respond in kind. Whereas if you try and push and pull and yank, which is my nature, if something doesn't feel right, I try and fix it. It'll just get worse. It'll get tighter because the body will feel under attack. So the body responds to kindness, just like so many other things. So something to bear in mind. All right, let us do a little bit of silk railing, please. Let's bring our feet together. Float up through the top of the head, the chin slightly down and back. Take a breath. And let go through the body. Sigh the tension away. Let's do it again. And let go. Let's release belly, hips, and knees. We're going to take your right hand to waist and mirroring. Release your left heel and your left palm extending forwards and step open. I'm not sure if I've done much silk railing with you since my last class with Master Chen, but he did make a little change which makes all the difference. So let's try. We're going to turn, releasing shoulder and hip, turn the palm. This is what I call the waiter. It's like you're extending forwards, but you're being lazy. Now we feed across into the shoulder, then the elbow, and unfold into hand and fingertips. So the hand finishes above the foot. Here's the change. As we release the shoulder and hip, the hand comes up a little bit and then glides down. So it's up and over, and then feed the weight across. And let's do that again. We do a little turn, call your waiter, feed across into shoulder, elbow, unfold to hand and fingertips, and a little release up and over. It's like you're going over a little humpback bridge, and then feed the weight across. Keep going, please. Now, this little movement of the hand, lifting, really helps to unlock the arm. I find it gives a sense of freedom that just turning the palm doesn't do. So this is a full twist. The thumb edge is fully under. If I come closer, maybe you can see. And we release and lift just a little bit. Go over a little hill and come across. And repeat. We turn and we feed across, shoulder, elbow, unfold, hands, fingertips, up and over, and feed across. Keep breathing, please. Up and over. Good. One more time. Up and over. The lower palm position, it should be about level with your belly. Don't let it go low. Don't let it go beneath your hip joint. Because it's still part of the structure. Once you're down here, you've lost any strength and structure. So it's really, what's the word? can't think of that, post boxed, is that what you call it? It's topped at the shoulder height and it's bottomed at belly height. Yes, that's it, good. And by doing that, you're maintaining structural integrity. Good, let's change arms, please. I'm going to slide across so that you can see. And again, we have this little moment of up and over. Glide across and turn. Feel shoulder, elbow, hand, fingertips. Release. Good. That's it. Now, as we feed across, the arm is actually twisting. It's like you're screwing it into position. Again, we're creating structural integrity. If you see it from the side, my thumb edge is right the way underneath. My palm is fully facing out. It's not just somewhere out there. It's fully twisted. But at the same time, my shoulder blade is slick against my back. It's not sticking out to try and twist. So you're twisted at both ends. The shoulder blade is nice and flat and the arm is fully rotated. But then we release as we lift. So you have so much freedom of movement. This is also a twist. Palm, as it reaches in front of the body, is fully rotated up and extended forwards. It's not back here, it's forwards. Good. So again, we turn, feet across, shoulder, elbow, unfold, hands, fingertips, up to come down and feed across. Beautiful. Now, I'd like you to keep a little bit of space under your arms. So here, there's still space between body and arm. What I'm seeing a little bit is this. Do you see that's kind of very closed and tight? So it should always be a little bit buoyant, like you're in water. The arms float away from the body. Good, breathe. Up to come down. Good. Good. Getting better. I know I've given you a lot of information there, but with all that information, it's really important that you feel into your body and that it feels comfortable. If it's hurting and you're doing multiple moves, it's going to be very sore at the end. That's not what we want. So listen to your body, and if it's uncomfortable, straight away adjust. It's a little bit more space under your arm, Anita, and that will feel a lot more comfortable. You can imagine having a little orange underneath each armpit rather than this. Good, last time. And one more to close. Feed the weight across and bring the foot in. Excellent. Do you think you could have a wee play with that, folks? It's a small adjustment, it's a small change, but I feel it makes a world of difference. And you might think, well, that's one exercise, but I really want to improve my Tai Chi. That exercise will help facilitate improving your Tai Chi. So every time we have a turn, here it is, up and over. There's the movement. And if we take a step, up and over, there's the movement again. So it's there, it's there a lot. So have a play with that exercise, please, and see how you get on. Be playful with your practice of Tai Chi. Often people think, well, it's a perfectionist's art and I know I'm not doing it right, so I don't want to make it worse, so I'll not practice. That's an excuse, folks. It might sound feasible, but any practice is better than no practice. And if you know you're doing it wrong, you have then a bridge that you can work on improving it and doing it right. So even practicing wrong is a step in the right direction as long as you realize there's something wrong. So please do have a play, have a practice. Okay, let's have a look at the 9-step form now. We'll do a little bit of 9-step, and today we're going to finish with our relaxation. So I'm going to do a little bit facing you, and then I'll turn and we'll do the back view. So I know, I'm sorry for those of you who find it difficult to mirror, but it might help for those who find it useful. Okay, so let's start with our feet together, please. We float up through the top of the head, the chin slightly down and back. Take a moment to breathe and calm. Oops, somebody's coming in. There we go. Good. All right. So just take a wee moment. Notice your breath, the quality of your breath. Notice your heart rate. Calming down. Let's press all 10 fingers down. And let's release belly, hips, and knees. Filling your right foot, emptying your left, step open to your left. So I'm mirroring. We're going to breathe in and float up. And breathing out, release, relax belly, hips, and knees. So if we want to turn left, we have to begin with a little release to the right. Turn left. Here's your up and over release, left. To turn right, lift the right toes, pivot on the heel. Feeding into your front foot, bring the back foot in, holding the body steady as you step. Up and over, release towards the back foot and down. Feed the weight forwards into shoulder, elbow, and turn, hands, fingertips, come through. Up into fist and relax back of palm into hand. Keep the hips level, rise and stamp. Release and expand to your right hip, bringing the arms up and over, turning out left foot and step forwards right. So your right hand and foot are forwards. We turn slightly, change arms and step left. Hands above feet, elbows above knees, shoulders above hips. We turn and we do one more step right. Now your body should already be at a diagonal, even though your hand and foot are pointing forwards. So find that diagonal as you turn your palms. Your left hand, which is level with your elbow, comes into fist. Check posture and relax to center. Punch. Turning in your center sends both arms in opposite directions to balance. Good. Release, open the fist, bring it under. The hand from your body comes forwards. Feed the weight back. Arms come down and roll over. Feed your weight forwards, gather to ear. Screw into the front leg. And as you fill your hands forwards, fill your waist back. And relax to center. Your right hand swings down and to the corner. Stepping your left foot back and turn the front palm, pressing the hands as if stretching the skin and sit back into your back. Turn, left hand swings to corner, draw in, step, turn the front palm and feed the weight back, sit back, nice and square. Turn, drawing in, step, feed the weight back, palms stretch apart. Turn, draw in, step, feed the weight back, stretch the hands apart. On the fifth set, this time, we're going to touch with the toe, bring the heel in as it goes down, sweep the left hand into a hook and chop the right hand towards your left foot arch. Good. Release and turn towards the back, opening the hands, right hand lifts, left hand comes forwards, feed the weight forwards and step down underneath. Shift the weight, step the right foot back and make a fist with the right hand, left hand releases up and over, relax down. Release the front foot, find the corner and prepare. Relax to center, punch to opposing lines. Good, release, everything gets smaller, open the fists, feeding the weight into the back foot, expand the palms, pressing out, turn towards the back, swing the back hand down and through, up, down, up, down, release, float up, level with the chest, relaxing down to the base of the body, and we pause there for a moment. Think of sealing in your good energy. Point to the floor, release from your stance, feed into your right foot, close left. Excellent, well done, and recover, heel tap. Good. So that was front view and mirrored, taking out the turns. Now we're going to do the whole form back view. Exactly, I'm going to do it exactly the way I want you to do it. Don't worry if you get lost or confused. This is a video, so I'd like you to replay, watch, even just have it on in the background. And in a section that you know you struggle with, just pay more attention and go, oh, okay, let's see what she's doing. See how you get on with it. But maybe it'll just click along on rails. You never know. Let's try. Feet together, please. Good. We float up and relax down. Moment of Wuji. Ready. Start. Three steps. Left hand and fist. Punch. Ward off. Feed it back. Feed the weight forwards. Fill your back. Relax to center. 5 steps back, starting with your left foot. On your 5th step, sweep and chop. Release and step. Prepare. Punch. Expand. Turning to the front. Good. How did you get on? Yeah? Should we do it one more time and then do a relaxation? I know when we do the full thing, there are moments where you're facing practically away from the screen. Try it. See how you get on. As I say, you can always watch the video for clarity and then give it a go. I know for a lot of students, they feel unless the teacher is actually visible and in front of them, they go into a kind of free fall state of panic. I don't know what I'm doing. Trust yourself. But if you don't know what you're doing, nothing bad will happen. Pretty much do nothing. Just give it a second. You can always actually readjust your angle until you do see, until you get the idea of it. So it's a work in progress. We're all students. And it doesn't do to be too much of a perfectionist. We're aiming for perfection, but actually it's the journey along the way towards perfection that brings the well-being, brings the good stuff. So let's give it one more go, please. Ready? Calming down. Off we go. Prepare. Punch. Sweep and chop. Turn towards the left, release the right toe, and step. Step across, right hand in fist, relax everything, down. Release, and step. Find the corner, prepare, and punch. Release and expand. Turn. Up, down. Up, down. Release. Fill right. Close left. Good. And recover. Excellent. Let's have a few minutes of a relaxation, please. So come and sit down, make yourself comfortable. Alternatively, if you prefer to stand, you can do a wee bit of standing practice. I like this class because it gives me an excuse to do seated work. It's great. A little bit of seated work is just what the doctor ordered. Okay, so we're going to plant the feet shoulder width and level. Of course, you could sit in the lotus position if it was comfortable, but unless you've been doing that all your life, not so comfortable for many. So feet shoulder width and level, float up through the top of the head, please, and chin slightly down and back. Take a few moments to return to Wuji. Simply allowing yourself to be here now. Notice your breath. Notice your heart rate. Notice how your muscles feel. And with each out breath, let go. Very good. I'd like to start today's relaxation by feeling the top of the head. And as you breathe out, glide your awareness down through the center line to your tailbone, or to the point between your two legs. As you breathe in, gently glide your awareness back up to the top of the head. And as you breathe out, glide down to the point between the two legs. So like a little beam of light, gently flowing with your breath up to the top. On the in-breath, down to the bottom. On the out-breath, breathing in, float up. And breathing out, glide down. It's a little bit like a stretched string between the 2 points. And we're simply following the breath and gliding up and down between the 2 points. Very nice. This is a simple exercise, but it goes deep. It's following the natural flow of your energy. With every in-breath, your body energizes. And with every out-breath, the body relaxes. Keep following this little upward float and downward float with your breath. Good. Now we're going to make this a little bit more fancy. I'd like you to think of your body like a snow globe. You know those little toys they have that you shake up and it looks like a blizzard? So I want, with each breath in, I want you to think of the energy in your body becoming light and free and full of light and floating up all over your body. With every out breath, it becomes heavier. It settles down like in the snow globe. It settles and it becomes darker and darker until it's sitting down at the bottom. It goes black. You breathe in and it gets light and floaty. The energy is dancing around your body. And with the out breath, it calms, it softens like snow falling. It sinks gently, becomes darker, heavier, and down to the base, down into black again. And again, we breathe in, think of floating up like snow, like light dancing in your body, all around your body, energizing. And as you breathe out, we get the relaxation aspect, calming, sinking, settling down. It's a little dog. Good. Relaxing down, returning to lovely, calm, restful black. And again, breathing in, floating up. The light is dancing, vibrant, filling you up. As you breathe out, we get the lovely relaxation, drifting gently down, settling, calming, resting, black at the bottom, floating up on the in-breath with light. Dancing, floating energy through your body. Breathing out, releasing, letting it calm, letting it settle, letting it relax, letting it sit, letting it lie, letting it go into black. And again, breathing in with light. The body as a snow globe, light, dancing, and then gently returning to relaxation, to calm, to rest, to recovery, down to the base, down to black. And again, breathing in with light, dancing, floating, full of liveliness, and balancing beautifully out as it starts to calm and sink, returning to relaxation, to letting go, to rest, down black at the bottom. Breathing in with light, floating up and dancing, filling your system with liveliness. And as we breathe out, returning gently, slowly to relaxation, to calm, to centeredness, to foundation, to stillness. Breathing in with light, floating up, full of energy, full of liveliness, spiraling, swirling, and settling down on the out breath, calming, releasing, relaxing, lying down, heavy and peaceful once more. Last time, please, breathing in with light, And hold your breath at the top. Think of that light permeating every cell in your body. And as you release, breathing out, calming down, drifting gently, settling through layers of relaxation. Let's guide the hands this time to guide the energy to return to your center. Covering the belly just underneath your belly button, relaxing your hands against your belly, relaxing your elbows gently in. Breathe and feel into the touch and the temperature of your hands. Breathing into your belly as if you're breathing through your hands into your belly. Calming down now into that focal point in the very center of the belly, like a tiny sun right in the middle of your system. As you breathe into this point of light, feel your energy is stronger. Beautiful. Very well done, everyone. Let's please easing from our stance with a little wiggle of fingers and toes, feeling into your whole body and into your surroundings, picturing the room. And when you're ready, you can slowly and gently open your eyes. Folks, you've worked really hard today. I hope you enjoyed your practice. We looked at a bit of theory. When it comes to yin yang and empty circles and full circles, the color of the elements really is not important. Color is one way of depicting opposing forces, but actually it depicts the entire universe. It's just a way to show everything. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it informed you in some way as how we look at things in Tai Chi. It's not a faith system or anything like that. It's just a depiction of how we can categorize anything in existence. I wish you all a very lovely week and weekend. Let's salute, please. And thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you.
Thank you.